It's time to boycott Counter-Strike 2. At least, that's what some people are saying online. Players demanding that the entire community takes collective action against Valve until they fix this never-ending cheating problem. But how likely is that to actually happen? What would it even look like, and could it actually work? Alright, as the first CS2 major continues to motor on, pretty smoothly I might add, the rest of us plebs are in shambles due to this seemingly unavoidable cheating epidemic.
I just try to see if they'll leave before the game even starts then. Fastest game of Counter-Strike. They put a switch on a bolt action?
Kong told me that, and I was like, yeah, this is cool.
Nah, a switch on the scout is crazy. GG.
Since the game launched last September, it only feels like things have gotten worse. I mean, we got dudes with no clip flying around now. It's honestly kind of impressive.
Hey, flash him, flash him. Good flash. No, you're playing the finals. You're playing the finals.
But as funny and ridiculous as some of those clips are, it's a lot more serious to others. So serious that every week since launch, we see a new post calling for a boycott of the game until the anti-cheat gets improved. I'm serious, you don't even have to search up any key terms. Just scroll Reddit or Steam and you'll find post after post. And these aren't even people just complaining into the void. In a lot of these posts are some legitimate discussions. We even saw something similar happen back in October when Simple told people to stop playing CS, albeit for gameplay related issues. The big difference now is that we have seen dramatic improvements to the quality of Counter-Strike 2. The same cannot be said about its anti-cheat, so players are understandably fed up. It's been nearly half a year of dealing with the same shit over and over, with no solution in sight. But if a boycott is the first step towards change, what does that even look like? Well, people have suggested several ideas now, especially in this most recent post that's gone viral titled, "The time to boycott is now." The user suggests that we collectively stop watching, playing, stop buying, trading, and using the marketplace altogether, and uninstall the game. The post adds that there are plenty of other games to play to fill up our time, and ends it by saying, "Step up or shut up." Yeah, a little dramatic, but there are some ideas here. I think cases and skins are probably our best step forward if we would want to do this. That's where Valve makes the biggest chunk of their money, so hitting them there would hurt the most. In the most cynical case possible, despite the constant backlash they face about cheaters, they might be making too much money to even care. So even slightly making a dent could make them see otherwise. Now, could all of this come together and actually work? Well, it depends on what your idea of success is, but yes, I do think it's possible. Generally speaking, boycotts want to do at least one of two things: affect a company's bottom line or create enough negative press that they're forced to implement a change. The examples are few and far between, but some gamers have rallied together to make things happen. One that comes to mind are R6 fans coming out against Ubisoft's choice to host a major in Saudi Arabia. On top of all the constant online backlash they were facing, the community also said they wouldn't tune in, and eventually Ubisoft backed out. It wasn't exactly a boycott, but back in 2015, community outcry towards Battlefront 2's predatory microtransactions led to EA making significant changes to their game. And just this year, Chinese Genshin Impact players called for a boycott against the devs over a lackluster content plan. It's still early, but it has led to a drop in the amount of players, and their social media account losing over 1 million followers. Point is, these efforts can sometimes lead to change, and that's whether it's through an organized front or even just making enough noise. Could it work for CS2? Well, if we all literally stop buying cases tomorrow, I'd say maybe. That would be a massive disruption to a $1 billion revenue stream for Valve, one that even the money from Steam probably couldn't plug a hole in. Now, would everyone just stop buying cases if we asked them nicely? Probably not. But I'm sure if you pose the question, most people would nod their head yes, but that's probably the max amount of effort you're going to get from the average player. So the new question becomes, would 25% of the player base be enough of a hit? Or 15%? We're still talking hundreds of millions of potential dollars in losses. So yeah, that's possible. On the other hand, there is the whole public perception angle. Get enough eyes on the controversy that the bad PR forces Valve's hand. Unfortunately, since this is gaming, I just don't see us causing enough of a stink to make the 6 o'clock news. So I still think that supporting the Steam marketplace as little as possible is our best step forward. Now, some people have pushed back against these calls for a boycott in CS2, either calling bluff, claiming apathy to the entire situation, or simply not thinking it's going to work. And that last point is where a lot of my skepticism comes from. Don't get me wrong, I think boycotting can be a very useful tactic, but I just don't know if I trust gamers to stop buying cases, let alone stop playing. There's just something bizarre about this whole situation. I mean, we've seen games die over smaller issues than this one. Obviously, CS is a lot more historic, but even with these palpable frustrations, the game's hitting impressive player peaks. This game is like an evil ex we just can't stop coming back to. Maybe that's a testament to just how special it truly is and why so many people care about it being the best it can be. Now, with all that being said, it's not to say that people aren't working on fixing what's wrong. Like we saw with the whole Apex hacking incident, suggesting that devs don't care about cheaters, are lazy or bad at their jobs is a disservice to the individuals who work tirelessly trying to improve our experiences. There are employees at Valve doing the exact same thing, and honestly, as far as Valve's concerned, it's in their best interest to decrease the amount of hackers. But I think the conflict comes when you're still making $1 billion on cases despite cheaters running rampant. Now, obviously, we don't know what Valve's doing because they can't really talk publicly about it because if they expose their measures, it might give ammunition to the hackers. But what I have heard multiple times from many different people I've spoken to about cheating in the last 6 months is despite how hard the security team works on this at Valve, it might be too small a team for such a large issue. For that reason alone, I do like the idea of a boycott, if only to get these teams more support. But with that said, what do you guys think? Do you think there's a world in where a boycott actually works? Would you participate, or do you think this is all just cope? Yeah, I'm gonna be in Copenhagen, so I'm gonna be. Am I a scab? Is this video scabbing? Yeah. I'm gonna go to the Copenhagen major. Someone's gonna come with like a bucket of red paint and just dump it all over me.